Monuments are structures erected to commemorate a specific person, group of people, or an important historical event. They serve to remind the members of that society of historical times or cultural heritage. Monuments have been created all around the world for thousands and thousands of years. Each of them can tell us a lot about the civilization that created them, its arts, architecture, belief and values, even its social and economic development. Think of the Egyptian pyramids, the Greek Pantheon, the Roman Colosseum, or the French Eiffel Tower. Each of them has a story to tell.
Bangkok, Thailand, like any other places, has a number of monuments around. Among them, one of the most famous ones would have to be Victory Monument in Ratchathani district of Bangkok.
Almost at the very center of Bangkok, we can find this large military monument standing as the center of a traffic circle at the intersection of Pahonyotin Road, Payathai Road, and Ratchaviti Road. The Victory Monument is in the shape of 5 bayonets clasped together, making up the central obelisk. Surrounded it are the 5 statues representing the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Police, and the civilians. All those are ringed by the names of the fallen servicemen and civilians inscribed around the base of the monument. Within the structure, their ashes are kept.
And that's all about the architecture of the Victory Monument. Let's move on to the purpose of it. It's called the Victory Monument. Do you know which war this victory is referring to? The Franco-Thai War was fought between November of 1940 and January of 1941 over the disputed areas of Battambang and Siam Reap in what is presently Cambodia, and in the lands west of the Mekong River on the Thai-Lao border.
In 1940, the Germans won over the French. Afterwards, Field Marshal Black Pibun Songkram of Thailand attempted to recover the border territories lost in 1893 when the French Navy sealed off the Chao Phraya River. Thai army marched into the territory to the west of the Mekong River, opposite Luang Prabang and Champasak in Laos, and Pratapong and Siem Reap in Cambodia. This led to a series of naval battles between the Thai and the French navies near Koh Chang in the Gulf of Thailand. Eventually, Japan stepped in and called for a ceasefire in January 1941. In March 1941, the treaty indicating Thailand's rule over the disputed territories was signed.
Despite being entirely Western in design, the Victory Monument was, in fact, designed by a Thai, Mom Long Pum Malakun. Mom Long Pum Malakun was an architect at the Department of Public Works and Town and Country Planning at the Ministry of Interior. He had not only designed the Victory Monument, but also the Democracy Monument, the Erawan Shrine, and also some buildings in the Government House of Thailand.
The statues were, however, sculpted under the supervision of Westerner, an Italian sculptor, Corrado Ferrucci. He came to Thailand in 1923 when King Rama VI requested a sculpture from Italian government to train Thai artists and craftsmen and to raise the standard of Thai art into national level. And he certainly did. He was responsible for many well-known monuments in Bangkok. He was the one who brought Thai artists gathering to modern world by developing art curriculum in Thammasat University from Western education system to contribute a new generation artists to the society upon policy of the government during those periods, which brought art movement and education later on. He also started having art exchange between Thai and international artists as well. As a result, Professor Sim Pirasi was truly the pioneer in creation of modern art and contemporary art in Thailand.
Architecture speaks through its design, just as people use words and actions to communicate their thoughts. Like many structures built by the governments around the world, the Victory Monument is very likely to have certain subliminal messages to the mass. The Victory Monument was erected during the period of Field Marshal Black Pibun Songkram's government. The government was promoting the modernization of Thailand and redefining Thainess or Kwam Pen Thai. It was also in the midst of justifying its participation in the Franco-Thai War. Through the years, researchers have debated on the message that Victory Monument might carry, so we'll explore that. Towering the huge roundabout in one of the busiest parts of Bangkok, the Victory Monument basks in the aggrandizing effect. It forces people to metaphorically pay respect by having to go around it, just like how the Buddhists walk around the temple. This gives the symbolic power to the then military government.
The martial features and sculptural elements also serve to give off the air of intimidation through the threat of force. This secures compliance from the people, reminding them that it was the military that held the power and the right to rule. Any attempt to challenge its authority would be regarded as un-Thai and unpatriotic. Surrounding the central obelisk are the glorified figures. It portrays that the military is the guardian of national security and popularizes the colonial quest in Indochina as a war on behalf of the Thais' best interests. Last, but definitely not least, the absence of symbolic reference to the Thai monarchy is striking. In this culture, where the king is seen as supreme, there are almost always references to the crown everywhere. As such, the obvious lack of such reference in the Victory Monument may be interpreted as the attempt to paint a picture of the progressive government as a better ruler for Thailand over the defunct absolutist kingdom.
Fascist, nationalistic, and propagandistic in nature? That is one way to look at it. Many researchers seem to agree that the Victory Monument is Field Marshal Black Pibun Songkram's attempt to justify his decision in bringing Thailand into war at that time. Why do we need wars anyway? What do we stand to earn or lose in a war? Let's find out from the expert, and who would know better than the veterans themselves?
สงครามเป็นเรื่องที่มีรากฐานมาจากความขัดแย้งนะครับ
Wars stem from conflicts. There are positive and negative effects of war. As such, the people of authority have to think twice before declaring war. Bringing a country to war can lead to the country's bankruptcy or destruction. War should be the last resort. And when they do happen, we must make sure that losses are minimized and that we do not disregard human rights and the victims of war.
สงครามจึงเป็นสิ่งที่พูดง่ายว่าพึงจะต้องหลีกเลี่ยง
Wars are so bad, aren't they? It takes a lot for our country to go to a war, knowing full well that everyone in the country would be affected in one way or another. How about the soldiers and the people? What makes them go to war?
สังคมไทยเราได้มีการแสดงความรักชาติ
The Thais go to war because of their patriotism. They defend their country by sacrificing themselves to protect Thailand. It is the duty of the military to protect sovereignty and territories of their country in order for people to live peacefully. The definition of patriotism might be different for each Thai, but I do believe that every Thai is being patriotic in his or her own way. As part of the new generation of soldiers, I think the schools ingrained a sense of patriotism in every one of us, just like the school that I am in. Teachers don't do that simply by telling us to. Rather, they tell us of the times in history where the soldiers sacrificed everything, including their lives, to protect the country with all their might, so that the future generations would have a peaceful country to live in. I have learned of their heroic deeds from the books and also from visiting historic sites. Every time I pass by the Victory Monument, I'm grateful that I had selfless ancestors who did all they could to keep us and our country safe.
It is an endless debate on the necessity of war and whether patriotism is dead and gone for good. Whatever the case might be, the Victory Monument still stands today to remind many different groups of people of many different things.
อนุสาวรีย์ชัยสมรภูมินะครับได้จัดสร้างขึ้นเพื่อเป็นเกียรติประวัติและเป็นวีรกรรมของบรรดา
The Victory Monument was erected to show recognition of the people who had fought for Thailand in the Franco-Thai War and subsequently those who fought in the Pacific theater of the Second World War and the Korean War. The Victory Monument was built to remind the people of Thailand that Thailand has never fallen under any colonizing power because of the selfless sacrifice the soldiers had made.
ชาติไทยนั้นดำรงเอกราชและรักษาความมั่นคงของชาติอยู่ได้ด้วยความเสียสละของบรรดาวีรชนนักรบไทย
They say that monuments are built to commemorate, while almost every single Thai in Bangkok know the Victory Monument. Only an ironically small number of people know what it was made for. We cannot help but wonder if monuments, or at least this particular one, still serve their purposes. Let's find out what the people think.
I guess that it still has some kind of significance, rather practical really.
At the end of the day, whether the Victory Monument is still relevant to the modern society is up to you.
With that being said, we cannot deny that it still has a role to play in this society.
And like all other things, the Victory Monument would hold some significance only to the people who see the meanings in it.